Hello, Jared Hood. Thank you for watching Jared Hood Sports Show. Sorry, did not introduce that correctly. Before we get started today's video, we'd like to talk about some soaps. Be Kind Boutique. I will leave a link in the description. This is a Valor Bar. It's a men's soap. Smells very good. I can't wait to use it. Uh, Basically, these soaps are I think $8 to $10. Um, They're all natural, so nothing against the regular soap that you can go buy into the store in the store. The difference between this soap and that soap is this was made by all natural butters. I mean, stuff from Africa. There's different scents in it that are all everything's natural. That's the biggest thing. That's the selling point with this. That's what's supposed to stand out between this and everything else. So if that's what you're into, if you're into all natural stuff and all natural soaps and stuff, definitely recommend to check it out. They Be Kind Boutique has a Facebook, an Instagram, and a Twitter. So definitely, like I said, I will leave the website in the description below. This is a men's bar. I will show a different one later. On to sports. If you are still watching, thank you, Jared Hood. This particular video I wanted to do was it's on the spider tack with this baseball, right? So it's actually I want to go deeper than that because they have a bigger issue on their hand than the spider tack, quote unquote. For those who don't understand or know, or look, if you're watching this video, you most likely do. I'm not trying to talk down on anybody who is watching this video, but I will just let me simplify it because I need everything simplified. So basically, spider tack is this grip that is being used by the pitchers. It's a certain, or it's an adhesive of some kind. It's used for what are they called? What are those rocks called? Oh yeah, the Atlas stones that bodybuilders pick up with their hands. So it's basically if the bodybuilder's hand got sweaty, it would be able to hold that stone. And the pitchers for years have been trying to figure out quote unquote concoctions and other stuff like that that can get them get a better grip on the ball, right? So you start looking at different things like back in the 90s and 80s, maybe throwing a curveball and a slider and different pitches that move, you weren't getting a whole lot of speed on it. Well, nowadays you might be able to get a lot of speed on it, get it to move ways that it never did before. I know Tatis Jr. said on the Dan Patrick Show a couple weeks ago that he's seeing pitches he's never seen before. He's seeing balls move the way he's never seen before. So, not saying it's just because of this. There's different stuff. There's different mixes. This is just the main ingredient apparently is what and every clubhouse has it, and look, I don't doubt that. But basically, so it's to be able to give the pitcher an advantage to throw the ball, or it gives them more control overall. Really, that's just really how I look at it. It gives them more, it gives the pitcher more control. Okay, so my theory on this whole spider tag situation and the reason it came out. Circle back to when the Astros got caught cheating with trash cans and everything, myself included. Everybody on them, making fun of them, blah blah blah. A lot of teams are obviously cheating. I'm somebody who thinks every professional sports team is looking for a way to gain an advantage, and some of them cross the lines too much. And in baseball, it just seems like it's a little more open about talking about it. So I don't know. I think it happens in football just as much, or basketball just as much, or hockey just as much. Like cheating different things and bending lines and rules and going past stuff and leagues knowing stuff. But I think for whatever reason, well, I'll explain here in a minute the reason I think, but baseball is just kind of starting to become an open book with it. Um, Basically, Astros got caught. My theory would be everybody who was doing something, right, like cheating wise to get an advantage hitting, stopped so that they weren't the next Astros where they got, kind of in trouble and made fun of and were the joke of the league and everybody hated them, blah, blah, blah. Manager gets fired, whatever. That leads to really like even more competitive advantage or a disadvantage from hitter to pitcher because look, the hardest thing in sports to do is hit a baseball. I honestly do believe that the hardest thing in sports to do is hit a curveball or a 95-mile-an-hour fastball or an 86-mile-an-hour changeup the next pitch. Like, but I genuinely think the hardest thing in sports to do is hit a baseball. So if the pitchers already have now another advantage where they have some control and they're able to throw the slider a couple more miles an hour faster, that's even more of an advantage. And if the hitters were trying to find their own advantage before, and now they're afraid of getting caught. All right, so it's a cycle in my mind that led to now the pitchers are the only ones cheating and the batters are not. To me, whether the MLB put this out, whether they are whether they knew, blah, blah, blah. To me, it doesn't matter. They're going to lean on the crutch of everyone's been saying for the last how long that baseball's boring. Baseball is becoming a home run or nothing sport because I I think I heard it Buster. I forget somebody a good baseball writer on one of the bigger networks said, I think it was Boog Shambi. He said who's getting four hits in an inning? Like who? Like no one's hitting for singles because you're not getting four hits in an inning. He's not wrong. I mean, I watch a lot of Phillies games. He's not wrong at all. For people first time watching, I'm a Philadelphia sports fan. I know I got a Denver jersey on. Carmelo Anthony is just one of my favorite all time athletes. So I'm wearing his jersey. Um, Back to baseball, but so it's just one of those things where like I completely agree with that theory of so that's why we had the home runs and double thing. But now it even makes sense why everything's going in the wrong direction for hitting. Um, I covered the whole cycle. So basically that is my theory. Sorry to have a long pause there. That is my theory overall on what's going on with with how we got to that point and why the spider tack and the sticky stuff and okay. So now the players have a gripe, okay? An agent is spinning the gripe as if another player has pine tar in their hand, the shortstop gets a ground ball, throws it to the first baseman, out. Umpire looks at the ball, there's pine tar on it. Oh no, now the pitcher's suspended for 10 games. To me, they're still gonna like be like, all right, well, we know a little bit of pine tar is okay. I, if the MLB was bending the rules before, they're gonna kind of still bend the rules, right? And it's just gonna be like, hey, none of that. Like, okay with pine tar, maybe some rosin. And if that is really the complaint, because I don't disagree. Look, that's kind of not fair. If somebody else has pine tar in their hand and they're getting kicked out for pine tar, so the MLB can revise the rule a little bit. But what they did, I think, was the right thing to do. Because right now, like a pitcher got hurt, and he's now saying the MLB's fault because they didn't. Because now he has to change how he's pitching. Blah blah blah. Well, I don't know if that's right. I don't know if that's wrong. I'm not a doctor, but I mean, I'm sorry, but like, what was the MLB supposed to do? Like, oh, you know what? We think you might get hurt, so stop. Like, just continue to cheat. Like, no, they felt like they were backed in the corner, and they were like, hey, everybody's got to stop doing this. Yes, we did know about it, and everyone's gonna stop doing this. So, like, I mean, it's kind of to me, it's kind of the rules of cheating in professional sports. Like, hey, if you're doing it, if everyone's doing it, if the league knows about it, it's all good. If everyone gets caught, pie on all our faces, and we have to just kind of figure out how to legitimately do it. Like, I'm sorry. If you follow me on Twitter, I definitely said it right at Trevor Bauer. Like, I'm sorry, but you just become a pitcher. Like, stop complaining about it. I'm not one of these. You get paid millions of dollars to figure it out. But, like, just be a pitcher. Like, all right, so you can't throw the slider as fast as you want to anymore. Learn control like that. I want you to become, and you know what? MLB's not wrong for taking the stance of yeah. If these games end up being like 17-14, so what? Because every other sport, while either look, I'll be the first to tell you I am a sports purist, and I hate the unwritten rules on that stuff. But even though I was just talking about the unwritten rules of cheating in professional sports, um, but even though I am a purist, every other sport is going to let's have more offense. Let's have the most offense we can possibly have, right? And everyone's watching it. So I would probably rather let's go more defense. I like I love the Alabama LSU game type thing. The old I think Dan Levitard and Stu Gottsard say the old Ravens Steelers games. I do love me a good defensive game in all sports. You know, the 80 whatever, the 87 or the 88-86 game the other day in basketball was pretty, I was like, wow. But that was a lot of missed shots, not really good defense. But point being is I like watching, good defense, but everyone else is going towards let's get the most offense. And honestly, as a sports purist, as I just made myself, um, it's always cool to still see the strategy of what you can do defensively to stop maybe the Chiefs or the Nets, or and if you can't, hey, that's really impressive. Like there's no defense out there to stop that. Wow, that's like different level of what are they going to do with the Titans this year, right? So that kind of conversation. But I look at it as the MLB felt like, hey, not a big deal if this, yeah, if you don't, if the ERAs aren't as low. Look at Jacob Degrom. Didn't seem to affect him. Knock on wood so far. Aaron Nola one start after all this. Best start of the season. So, or one of them. So, I don't like the players trying to out, or some writers trying to out the MLB. Like, don't believe what the MLB has to say. They know about this cheating, they know about that cheating, and this team and that team, and yeah, they probably do. Like, you're not. It might be kind of a bomb or a shock to some people, but you're not really. I don't think you're shocking most baseball fans when you're talking about, and even players like just kind of. You sound like you're whining if you're a player, and you kind of just like it doesn't. I don't know. There's nothing. It's not shocking. There's nothing surprising, and it's. I don't want to be the do better guy, but like kind of just learn how to pitch a little. Yeah, learn how to pitch Jamie Moyer style. Let's go back Jamie Moyer style. Let's learn how to pitch that way. Like it's possible, and these guys are all really good, and they have good stuff, and you have to tone it down a little bit, and the hitters become kind of good again. It's not a bad thing for the MLB. So I guess that's kind of overall what I was trying to say. Um, that's all I got. I know it's a big day for the NBA. I have an NBA video planned, scheduled here for the next couple of days coming up. Probably we'll see in the next couple of days about these series, but I have something in the in the works to do an NBA video. So if you like this, please like, subscribe, watch, share, tell everybody. Buy some soap. This is the Hot Girl Summer. If you are watching, and fellas, I showed you a male bar. Get this for your lady, or if you're trying to impress a lady, maybe get it for her. You know what I mean? It's called Hot Girl Summer. Be Kind Boutique is where you can get this. All natural, like I said. I mean, we're getting these. Some of the butters are from out of the continent, literally. So, uh, you know, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Be Kind Boutique. I'll definitely have a link in the description. Look at this again. This one smells really good. Sorry, I was talking while I smelled it and didn't explain anything. But yes, thank you for watching, Jared.